Good morning, Singapore. It's Glenn, the Flying Dutchman. Shaun is here. Ivan Ranton is here. And we have Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room joining us today, being a Tuesday. Good morning, Jerry.
Morning, and we have Glenn, who has introduced everyone but forgot himself.
Oh,
he normally starts with himself. That's just Glenn's humble side. Yes,
but
his humble side.
Usually I'll introduce myself like 3 times, but they said no, Glenn, just introduce yourself once.
Once.
That's all.
After all the introductions you've done, if no one recognizes you, there's something wrong with them, I'm telling you. So, Jerry, we're going to talk about social skills in COVID.
Yes.
Especially with the reopening of jobs and stuff now, more people are going to be on the move. How do you describe socializing?
First of all, when we went into the whole circuit breaker, we had to relearn how to socialize online.
Yes.
So it's like us now on Zoom, right? I had to say hi to Ivan. And in actual fact, I've not met anyone in person.
That is true, huh?
That's true.
Yeah. So I haven't met any one of you except online. And even Andre, who reached out to me at the beginning, he reached out online.
Right.
It was amazing. Yeah. So we had to develop a whole lot of skills online. And then I realized, oh my gosh, you know, when people, like what FD was talking about, right? They suddenly lack social skills when they line up for like safe entry, or they, someone meets you on the street. Even the young ones, oh my goodness, the young ones have lost their social skills. Yeah, maybe I'm going to throw it back, right, to all of you. What are some of your pet peeves when you meet a person these days after the whole circuit breaker?
I think when you meet people, they've forgotten the niceties.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has been lost. Maybe it's not they've forgotten the niceties. They don't know what to do, because I can't come too close to you. I can't reach out and touch you. I can't do this. I can't do that. So I don't know what to do. And it feels very, I think at times, off-putting for both parties. Because you're not quite sure. I want to fist bump, but I don't know if this person fist bumps, or do we elbow? Do we wiggle our hips and nod our heads? What do we do to say hello? So it all becomes very, very uncomfortable. At least that's for me. Because I am still shake hand, hug somebody. That's the kind of person I am, you know? I hate this not being able to touch people.
Right.
I totally agree with FD. I'll do the same thing as well. Whether you want to do a fist bump or you don't want to shake my hands, I'll still go there and give you a big hug.
Breaking all the rules, Ivan. Breaking all.
But I think if you do that to a stranger, you'll probably get some resistance.
Yeah.
If it's, amongst maybe your family members or whatever, they'll still, hug you, friends, But if you do that outside, right, I mean, I wouldn't even advise that you do something like that, because someone is just going to pull themselves away go like, nope.
Yeah. So that's one of the issues that I have.
No, and I think it's the right thing, because I mean it's a very dangerous time right now, right? I mean, we've always said it, right? We shouldn't be complacent, although the numbers are down.
Yeah.
We still need to maintain social distancing, wear our masks and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think among family and friends, if we're getting a bit closer, like now when I go back home, I kiss my mom again.
Yeah.
When this whole COVID-19 thing first started, I didn't even visit her.
Yeah.
And even if I had to go down and pass her something, I wouldn't like hug and kiss her the way I would usually, because you never know. We were still trying to understand this virus.
You didn't see your mom for how long? 2-3 months?
About 3 months, close to 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was tough.
Yeah, but I think people are just on edge right now, because it's just, everyone getting used to this new normal.
Yep.
Gee, I really dislike this word, new normal.
We've said that as well. We dislike it.
We dislike
but
it.
We don't know what else to call it.
What else can you call it, Jerry? There's nothing else you can call it.
It is true. But I think we were talking about family and friends, right? So how about the colleagues?
It-
Not the colleagues.
So if we're having these problems, right, about how close can I get to someone and all these issues, isn't that why, and they've said it in the papers today, that even though the rules for going back to work have eased, the crowds are not there. People don't want to go back to work. Is this why? Because they have problems not only with distancing but with socializing? Because they've gotten into a whole new frame.
Possible. I think earlier you were talking about the personal space. So there are many different areas of social skills, right? So one of it is respecting personal space. Now, what we described just now, we have so much of personal space that we don't know how to share the space now. So all of you are there in the studio, all together sharing this space. So if I need to go back to work with my colleagues, I need to share the space. Yeah, but do we know how to share the space after being so distant online? So it's a relearning of how to share my space with you, because now how close am I going to allow you to come, towards me or in my space or in my cubicle? Is that right? Or am I going to chase you away from my cubicle?
But some people will definitely look at it differently. Like, how would you consider personal space? And if you stay far behind that person, you're like, hey, I'm not COVID or anything like that. Why are you so far away? Some people look at it differently. Like, I'm not infected by any chance. So why are you, staying far away from me?
Right.
Yep.
Okay, we are talking about social skills during this COVID-19 period. Once again, we have Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room with us because it is Therapy Tuesday. Let's continue with the music right now. This is Snap with Rhythm is a Dancer on 1FM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
So, Jerry, you're saying the problem is we have gotten too internalized? Is that what it is?
We've gotten very comfortable with putting distance. So at the beginning, we were complaining about, not having the people around us. We can't meet friends and things like that. And then suddenly we are now very comfortable with, you stay 2-3 meters away from me. Don't come close to me.
Okay, hold on. Somebody's laptop, the volume is up.
Is anybody listening to a different device?
Nope.
Nope, I've switched everything off. Let me just...
But you're okay now already.
Yeah, now we're okay. Now we're okay.
You
Don't
switch
worry.
it off,
Yeah,
it's okay already.
So you were saying, Jerry? Because we were all distracted with the
You're
echo.
saying we are very used to the space
Yeah. So we've
that
gotten
we've
used
been given. So
yeah.
when people come into, we feel like they are coming into our personal
yes.
space.
See? You cut my train of
I didn't want to.
After a session with us, Jerry has to go and see a psychologist.
That's true.
Oh, talking about that, there was once a little kid actually asked me, a teen actually asked me, Auntie Jerry, do you have a psychologist? So I told this teen, I said, of course, all of us have our own psychologist. And he went, oh, my psychologist has a grand psychologist. And I was like, yes. Not only that, your psychologist has a grand psychologist, and the grand psychologist has a great grand psychologist. And that thrilled the little one so much. I mean, it's not little; it's a teen.
But how do we deal with this space issue, Jerry? What do we do?
I mean, okay, so now we have to relearn, right? Getting back into that space. How do we draw the person? What is our boundary? And where do we let them in? Whilst we have the social distancing, I think like what Glenn mentioned, right? There are certain people that we permit closer to us, like mom can get a kid. So, I hug my good friends. And in the initial phases, it was like, don't hug. Should I hug?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, never mind, let's hug. And we've established that already. Yeah, but please do not just grab a stranger and hug, okay?
But what about those who are never taught about social skills. For example, like, they don't really interact with people. What do you advise for them?
That's a group which is really difficult, because prior to all this whole pandemic and everything, we were teaching them social skills. We were teaching how, like, those that are a little bit more introverted, or those with autism, we were teaching them how close a person can get. But then when the whole pandemic hit, they used it as an excuse and go, no, COVID, I don't want to touch you. So we have to reteach them all over again and try and moderate it for them. So it's really tough.
It's a new skill, I guess.
It is. Even for us, we're trying to figure out what is a good balance for them and for us.
Yeah, I think, sorry. FD,
No, go ahead.
Oh, I think you basically need to be exposed a little bit more by seeing people doing it, and probably understanding, because some people just struggle with even saying hello or shall I not. So I think, it's a new skill to actually pick up.
I would encourage people to continue to go out and meet their friends, actually, whether it is in fives, small group settings. Sometimes it's better to learn your space and their space.
Yep.
So still go out and socialize.
I just can't wait for Singapore to open up a little bit more, because I was listening to Lawrence Wong the other day.
Yeah.
And of course, he hinted that we are moving closer towards a safe Singapore, which is phase 3. But in the meantime, they might ease up on some of the rules, and maybe allow more than 5 along the way as we move towards phase 3.
Yeah.
So what's a good number for you, Jerry? You think, for example, now when we go out to dine, you can't have more than 5 people.
Yeah.
Well,
What would be a nice next number?
5 is a comfortable number, but it doesn't work in pairs, you see.
Yeah.
So if I go out with 3 families, that's already 6 people. So, and then you times that by the number of kids. And kids can have their own table. The adults will be very happy, yeah? But already the number exponentially increased. So the government doesn't want to stop at 2, which was my time. So now it's more than 2, right? So each family, if averagely 3, oh my gosh, the numbers will be huge. So I don't have a comfortable number, but if we look at 5, I don't know where the number 5 was derived from, but couples doesn't work.
Well, this is the issue I've always had. So, for example, when my family goes out, right, my mother-in-law doesn't come with us a lot.
Okay.
So let's leave mom out of it. But because the 2 girls are married, we're out with 6, and we're shot.
Okay.
We can't do anything, you see? So I've always questioned this odd number and why it was never an even number.
Yeah.
Because even numbers just make it easier.
But you got to think about the fact that when they were coming up with the number, they surely weren't taking into account your family, FD.
No, but
because you know what I mean? Sure. Because you are just thinking about yourself.
Of course.
Just like we are all thinking about ourselves. You know what I mean? But
going back on your question, FB, if you go into a restaurant setting, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're 6, you can't sit together.
You can't.
a table of
Exactly.
6, right?
Exactly. You can't. So you've got 3 at one table and 3 at another table, which means one husband and wife are split.
Yep.
I think I have it figured out a little bit, and you tell me whether I'm right or not. Okay. We're
cool.
going
Do it
back on air.
Stand by.
Love this guy, John Farnham, and I love this song. Burn for you right here on 1FM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits. It is Therapy Tuesday with Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. We also have Ivan Ranton with us. Good morning, guys. And we were just talking about how perhaps maybe the government came up with the number 5. During this COVID-19 period.
Yeah.
When we go out and dine, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, because FD, what were you saying earlier on?
If I go out, my mother-in-law doesn't come with us very often, but the 2 girls 2, and with their husbands that make 6, so we can't sit.
Right.
Unless we go 3 and 3. And inevitably what happens with 3 and 3 is I'm at one table with one daughter and my son-in-law. My wife is at another table with another daughter and the son-in-law.
Right. So FD is not too happy about that, to which I then said, when the government were planning this, the number, they weren't thinking about your family.
And I think
FD.
they should have been.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Because yours is not the norm, you see. You know what I
okay,
mean? So I
okay.
think maybe they were thinking, most families have 2 kids. So parents plus 2 kids, and they include maybe a helper. So maybe that could possibly the reason why they came up with this initial number 5, taking into account as well that they didn't
Point.
want to encourage people to go out in the first place.
Point.
So anybody who has a little bit more will just have to stay at home.
Point.
Which they were encouraging.
Point.
Stay at home
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Yeah.
So which is why I'm thinking about this next phase, right? If they were to increase the number of people allowed to go out and dine, what would be a good next number before we eventually open up Singapore?
My feeling personally is 8.
8.
My feeling would be 8.
What do you
I think 8 is nice.
Dr. Jerry?
Actually, before any of the numbers, there are 2 more things, and actually a few more things of to do with social skills before we can even
Really?
go out.
Okay.
Like what? Like what?
Eye contact.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Jerry. I do. I know what you mean.
I'm so deprived of eye contact. It's ridiculous because everyone is on their devices or have been on their devices, looking at the camera. Actually, I have no idea where to put my eyes. I've been complaining from day one. When I use a device, I have no idea where to put my eyes. I'm staring at the screen and looking at the 4 amazing guys, but I'm not looking at the camera. Why would I want to look at a little dot on my computer? So this is so difficult. And when you meet someone face to face, suddenly they don't know how to look into someone's eyes. Have you realized that? It's
Actually,
so
thinking about it.
I think maybe if you with loved ones and close friends, you still get that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't think you're going to be out with your loved ones and they're going to be on the phone. Unless maybe they're teenagers. Ivan, you've got teenage kids. Are they on
no,
their
I
phones
think-
all the time?
Yes and no. I think we have rules. I think if we dinner table, no phones, no electronics. It's all about communication. I think as parents, we try to actually drive through the message that whenever you're having dinner, no electronics.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
good. That's
So
good.
That's a good rule.
But sometimes it's very hard to say no. But I think at the end of the day, it's through practice, like what Dr. Jerry says, a skill that I think we have to, teach our children, and that's something that I try, and even the wife as well.
Okay. Shaun?
No, I just wanted to say that because you are with your kids, so the parent is there. There's a sense of law. That's why they put their phones down. But if they go out with their friends, even if we're at the same table, all 5 of us, we're still on a group text and we're texting each other. And that's what I do also.
It's because, you all of the same generation, and so you don't mind.
We don't mind, yeah. Don't have to look
You
at
can
me. it's okay.
multitask.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture. You can look at me through my picture. La. Don't have to look at me in the face.
Basically, Shaun is trying to say that we are old-fashioned. That's
Too
why.
much eye contact.
Which we are, actually. Because sometimes I think, damn if you do, damn if you don't. But at the end of the day, the phone, it's everything now. Not just for Sean's generation, but even for us, we learn new things as well, right? So if
Especially
you don't
during
do it-
especially during this time, actually.
Yeah.
I find myself on my phone, more
All
often
the time.
now,
Yeah.
than before.
Yes.
And sometimes, I would say, I thought my wife was on the phone more than me. But then now I find myself getting sucked into that same situation.
Welcome.
Messages coming in, I'm checking and I'm talking to her at the
Yeah,
same time.
yeah.
And, sometimes it happens to her as well,
Yeah.
So, our devices have become, so important, especially if you're, if you're working.
Working. So, Jerry, if eye contact was one thing, you said there were 3.
Yep.
What else?
So manners.
Manners as
So
in what?
The new norm. Where are our manners? you know, and I have to laugh at this one. You know, when we wear our mask, right, we have this safety device over our half or more than half our faces.
Yep.
So we cough and we sneeze and we yawn, right? Like without covering our mouths. We were taught to cover our mouths. And then you have these people that take off their mask and go, ah, and then their tonsils.
Hey, this reminds me of Shaun when we were first told to put our masks on. So there was this one morning, right? He had this mask on, right? And then suddenly he felt he needed to sneeze or cough.
Sneeze.
He needed to sneeze.
So he
So
took
what
it
he did
off.
was he took off the mask to sneeze, and then he put the mask back on.
I got it.
Sneeze in my mask.
No, but I gotta tell you, and I told Glenn this. I had that experience on a bus,
Okay,
and it was the bus driver
who did that?
who needed to sneeze, and he took his mask off to sneeze. It was just hilarious. I mean, I was upset at the time, but now that I look back at it, I'm going, man, that was the dumbest thing you could have
It
done.
was just reflex, right?
Yeah.
Ivan, you were going to say something.
No, I would have done the same thing with Sean and the bus driver as well, because I don't want to sneeze in my mask, right? Can you imagine? You sneeze in your mask and you put it back on again.
That's
So-
what it's there for.
No,
Yeah.
it's like your underwear. You don't go to the toilet and then you just, do it in your underwear. Right? You want to take everything off.
No,
It's part of you already.
Yeah, I think it's gross to sneeze on your mask, right?
Yeah.
I think
no. I
This-
think
I like Ivan.
No, but this is why, and my wife instituted this rule in our house, and even our daughters and their husbands do this as well. We never carry one mask.
yeah.
We always wear one, carry two.
Are you talking about disposable ones or reusable ones?
Disposable.
Yeah,
So even
okay.
now, I've got a reusable that I'm using today.
Yeah.
But in my bag, I have two disposables. So we always carry the spare mask should anything happen.
All right, hold that thought, everyone. It is 8:23.
1FM time check by Budget Direct Insurance.
Yeah, so I just want to say that I prefer to use my disposable masks than my
Yeah.
reusable masks. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know why. Huh?
So when you sneeze, do you remove it or just let
No,
sneeze?
I leave it on.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
uses a
So it's like this,
disposable
right? It's
one.
like this. Wait, hold on. I use a
It
disposable one.
grows like-
Yeah, so you can
No,
throw
but
it
you
away.
sneeze and then you throw it away.
I only got
Glenn
one
said
mask. I
throw
can't
it
throw
away.
away.
And then if I
Imagine
really
it.
need to sneeze, right, then I'll still do
And he
this.
still covers it.
Yeah, I'll still do this. I don't know why, but I'll leave the mask on.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think that's the point, right? So it's like we always say, if you're not feeling well and you're at work or whatever, during this period at least, wear the mask. Because if you're coughing even,
Yeah.
I will still do
You
this.
still, yeah, it's on.
I won't take the mask off, you see?
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
But it's still gross, Glenn. If you sneeze, what if there's phlegm and all that? You want to sneeze, go somewhere, nobody, then you sneeze, take it off, sneeze, then put it back on.
But then it'll still be in here. It'll be on me. You see?
Look
You know
at
what I mean?
Jerry's face.
Right.
Okay,
Rather than...
Doc, what do you think, Doc? You
But
sneeze
the
in your mask?
mask is to filter. So if you sneeze, that's the strongest force
Yep.
that will propel whatever droplets out, right?
Yeah.
Please keep your masks on.
On.
Oh, lah.
I think
Sorry,
so.
Ivan.
No, I think
I
that's
will
the
still
that's the whole
remove my
point.
mask, Doc.
We know,
So
we
I'm
know.
so sorry. Sometimes all the phlegm, all the...
Hard to remove. It'll be sticky.
Yo.
Later you feel like it kinda stuck to your face.
you know.
Use a tissue. Do it the grandmother's way. Okay?
Yes.
Use a tissue.
But I think what FD mentioned early on is a good one. You know, carry a spare
Always
mask
carry
with you
spare-
if you're using
Actually,
a
that's-
disposable mask,
Yeah.
or even if you're using a reusable mask. It's so
Carry
easy
the spare.
to carry a few spare
Yeah.
reusable disposable
Disposables.
masks.
Always.
Flip it the other way around. Flip it
Oh,
the other way.
my God!
Outfit. Can use 2 times.
I think Jerry's getting grossed out this morning.
Sorry, Jerry. Just kidding.
Ivan, you're stirring the pot.
I agree with FD. I usually bring spare masks.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
You
That's
have
quite
to.
smart. Yeah.
Or sometimes, friends, you come out of the car, you're like, oh, shucks, you forgot to actually bring your mask.
Yeah. I've got a bag of masks in
the
my car.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. So what else do we have to consider, Jerry, before the numbers?
On manners, this is very funny. On Zoom and all the online platforms, we can mute ourselves. So when we mute ourselves, we have commentary on the side. So either we text someone or we just narrate, verbally. And you realize that, especially the young ones, they start narrating and we go like, hey, but the person is just right in front of you. There's no mute button. Or when we are face to face and in a face to face setting, they just narrate and continue talking, or they text their friends some commentary, and we are like, but your friend is right in front of you. You do realize your friend can hear what you just said, right? No mute button. You're not online. So it's very funny because they forget that they are not online. So they carry that over into the face-to-face setting, which sometimes their comments can be quite sarcastic or rude, Shaun is nodding his head. He must have done it a million times.
Oh, I'm there. I live there.
I've got to say, going back to the wearing the mask, I did have a meeting the other day and we were wearing the mask, and the person I was having a meeting with was droning on. And under the mask, I did say, oh, for God's sake, shut up. Because you can't see me mouth it.
Yeah, actually, you can't really see someone's expression well.
You can't.
So there was a period of time in Hong Kong where everyone was just wearing a mask. This was not even... I think this was because of the pollution, right? Years ago, right? This is before COVID, before viruses and so on and so forth. And we used to make fun of some of them because we were asking, why are you wearing a mask, right? And I'm thinking, these people, just like some people now, I think have gotten used to covering their faces. Because when they cover their faces, somehow they feel a bit more secure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel safer. I used to be a person who forgot my mask.
No, but I'm not talking about the virus here, no. I'm just talking about as people. Because maybe they're not the most social people, right? So putting the mask on gives them a bit more confidence.
True.
Is there, am I making any sense, Jerry?
You are. I think we get that also. A lot of clients have mentioned, not only clients, friends have mentioned, they feel a bit more secure because they feel insecure without the mask. The confidence goes up with the mask because it's something that they can hide behind literally now. So they feel more confident to go out, to do things, to talk to people. Yeah.
That is a very interesting comment. They find that they can hide behind the mask.
Thus making them more confident when they face people, because it's just the eyes now. You know how some people, they feel awkward when they come face to face with people, but with the mask, they're braver. They're more. They feel more secure. They feel they can face the person or people, with no fear.
That
and I have to say
very
that
interesting.
Wearing masks in Asia was a big hit even before COVID-19.
Yeah.
Asians were actually wearing masks, like Japan, Korea.
Even China and Beijing at certain times of the year. Yeah.
I think it's very popular even before that. So,
So what else do we have to look out for?
Listening skills, because on the Zoom meetings, online, it's very functional, especially for the adults. So those that are not Shaun's generation, those that are above Shaun's generation, we use it generally for work, for meetings, so very functional use of it. So all the niceties, like what FD was talking about, all the chit chats, suddenly have fallen away during the COVID period, during the circuit breaker. So now we are realizing we need to relearn how to pick up all these chit chatting topics. And not just having functional topics. So functional is
hold on
in and then
hold on, Jerry.
Okay.
1FM 91.3 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways this morning. A bit of patience needed. Some of you will see open roads, and I will deal with that in just a short while. But for now, if you're on the expressways, quite a few of you are going to get caught up in delays as you head off to work this morning. If you do see open roads ahead of you, please just make sure you've got everyone buckled up. Make sure you stay within the speed limit and drive safely today.
Good morning, Singapore. It's Glenn and the Flying Dutchman with Shaun, with Ivan Ranton, and of course we have Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. If you want to get in touch with Jerry, you can just, contact her at the therapy room. Okay. So your email is Jerry
Contact at thetherapyroom.com.sg.
Okay.
Contact at thetherapyroom.com.sg. Okay, cool. Alrighty. We're on this topic of I don't know. I'm
Social
still,
skills.
Social skills, and I'm still stuck behind this
Mask.
mask. It blows me away that a piece of cloth across your face increases your confidence.
It does. It does for actually quite a number of people. It's surprising. Yeah, because when they cover, you can only see their eyes.
Right.
So 2/3 of their face is being covered. Right? So it's like a protection. In fact, it almost acts like the sunglasses. So how many of us feel that, we feel a bit more stronger with our sunglasses because we hide behind our dark glasses.
Yep.
So this has almost the same effect.
Right.
Yeah. So they those that are or those that have cases, those that have legal cases, and they wear the dark glasses, their caps.
Yeah.
They really love wearing their masks. So
Right.
they're not identifiable. People cannot identify.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
Yeah,
I've got to say, now that I'm thinking about it, you're absolutely right. I used to drive. I stopped driving, and I used to take public transport, and I was comfortable, but I would still be consciously looking round to see if anybody is watching me.
Okay. Because of what someone said to you once upon a time.
No, not because of what someone said, although that has been said before. No, but because I'm this so-called known person.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the people to go, yeah, there's FD, there's FD down there, And I got so paranoid at one point, I was wondering if they were taking pictures.
Okay.
Yep.
But now, I don't feel that when I'm on
But why
public.
don't you want them to take photos of you? I told you it's good for our publicity.
No, I know that, but I'm still conscious. I'm the kind of person, if you want to take a picture of me, ask me and I will let you take it. I'm that kind of person.
Right.
Don't try and sneak a picture of me. There's no need.
It's okay.
Anyway,
Doesn't matter. I like it.
But now I am completely comfortable on public transport because of the mask.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nobody knows you.
It
Okay.
hides me.
Yeah.
I have never realized that until this morning.
Yeah. The reason why I mentioned what I mentioned earlier on is because once upon a time, someone saw FD on board the train and went up to him and said, "Hey, you're a celebrity. How come you're taking public transport?"
Okay, let me explain it. You're a celebrity. How come you're taking public transport? This kind of transport is meant for people like me, not people like you.
Yeah, that person said that.
Whoa.
Wow. So my reply to it was, I'm sorry, I pay my income tax. That really shocked me because really it's funny because like when I tell people I live in HDB, they go, why? You should be in landed property. It's this image that people place on us. It's strange. But getting back to what we're talking about,
See,
socializing.
people judge. There you go.
People
There.
judge.
Everyone judges.
People judge.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, only Chris Henson doesn't judge.
So-
Our good friend.
If we, what else do we have to look out for as we try and deal with this socializing with COVID?
So there are a couple more. Like one is sharing. So when you're in my space, I need to know how to share things with you. So not just sharing space, sharing topics, but sharing things with you.
Yep.
The other one is conflict resolution. When you meet somebody face to face and you need to have that conflict resolution or problem solving, it's very different face to face and online. But many people love to escape online now. How many couples during circuit breaker or phase 2 have broken up via text only?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Yes,
true.
yes. He's already broken up. Like how many times already during this
I think
COVID-19?
six or
I think
seven.
twice.
Six
Ah,
or
okay,
seven
once.
he sent already.
But not through text, yeah.
Through Zoom.
No, she wanted a Zoom. I didn't want to Zoom. I'm like, I don't see you.
No, thank you.
Do you need a counseling session with Jerry?
I might. Heartbroken.
Yeah, I know. I have heard that it is on the rise. This whole thing of I'm just going to text you. The excuse is, we can't get together.
Yeah. No, there are many married couples who have perhaps maybe separated even during this period.
I know of two. Two friends of mine, just because they couldn't take the 24/7 in your face.
Right.
They couldn't. They couldn't.
So when the wife out, where are you going? Oh, going out for meeting. Then you go to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem is
Yeah.
he went to the bar and the bar had girls. So, and the wife found out.
FD.
So
What
anyway,
life,
Pecah
D?
lubang.
It was
they're
going so
separated.
well
What do you want me to do?
until
Also,
that
just to
point.
let you know, we are live on air.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean to stir things up.
Sometimes what we say it in jest. That's a half jest.
Oh dear.
I love Jerry. Sometimes she hears us and goes, "Oh dear."
We're giving Jerry ideas, And when her husband goes out, she'll be thinking her husband is going to the bar to have a drink. No.
No.
Faith.
But I'm just so amused when you put a bunch of boys together. Really like boys, yeah?
We never grow up.
You notice in all these weeks, Jerry has never called us men, no? She called us boys.
Thank you.
Which is why I don't know how Andre is surviving on Kiss 92, Because he's like a guy, right?
guy,
And when
yeah.
he's here, right, he's like cracking all the dirtiest jokes, and
Yeah, it's all Andre.
I mean off air and all that. And all of a sudden now he goes over there, he's working with a bunch of women, If
Yeah.
he says what he says, he's going to get fired, no?
Get fired.
And then we have to rehire
It'll
him.
be an HR case.
So, Jerry, is there any way of us training our social skills? We'll come back and answer that question.
All right, it is 8:39.
Glenn and the Flying Dutchman.
back.
So, Jerry, is there any way that we can start now, before phase 3? Because phase 3, when everything opens up, we're going to need it. Is there any way of training these social skills?
I think we it's so funny. In the past, we had training for telephone skills. I'm not sure if you're
Yes.
So we had this training for telephone skills. So now it's almost the reverse. We need to train ourselves to meet people face to face. How to keep them in our space, how far we need to distance them, how to make eye contact, how to act in front of them. So being aware of our verbal and non-verbal cues. And it's so funny to say that because we train we coach our autistic children. With that, we have social skills training for them. But it almost seems like the nation and maybe across the world, we all need social skills training now.
Yep. Or people label you, right? In today's day and age, they'll just label you, this fella, better don't talk to this fella. lah."
Yeah, and then they judge you after that as well. Jerry, I just
Again
want
with the judging.
Exactly.
Again with the judging.
Just,
Yeah, what's this with the
no, he
judging?
brought up the
No,
judging this morning.
I brought
you
up the
see,
fact
that's
that
why.
many people, everybody judges people based on what they wear. And I found it very, very uncomfortable and unfair, even though I do it.
Yeah.
And
So
I
we came
have
to the
I have to stop.
So we came to the conclusion, there's no point, debating about it because everyone judges one way or another. So, let's not waste time. But just back to what you were saying, right? Training people to use the
phones.
phone and basically etiquette
Etiquette
and
and
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think you know what we as people should also observe etiquette when we're talking to, for example, Because these people who man telephone lines for companies, for
Yeah,
example, and
Yeah.
you call them, you get in touch with them,
Yeah.
either inquiring about your credit cards or your fiber or your Netflix or whatever. There are always customer service people on the other end,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think people should also learn. Okay, because they're just doing their jobs, and I say this on behalf of all these people who work for many hours on a daily basis.
Telemarketers.
But I'm rude to telemarketers. But I'm not talking about telemarketers because telemarketers can be quite
Customer service
irritating
people.
sometimes. I'm talking about customer service people.
okay.
You are calling them for some help.
Okay.
You've got to be nice to them.
Of course.
Many people abuse customer service people. And I just want to put this out just to remind people that they're just doing their jobs. And if they can't resolve your problem, there is a reason why they can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have the right to abuse them. Because I know a lot of them, are victims of this.
And at the end of the day, they're in a thankless job anyway.
Exactly. So try and be as nice as you can. You might be frustrated because something is not working and all that, but don't abuse the customer service person.
I think the $10 word is empathy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? That's the $10 word for today.
Well, maybe the telemarketers or the one on the phone can do this very simple thing by just smiling into the phone.
Yeah.
That would really help.
Yeah.
So we were all taught this, right? To smile.
Yeah.
Sean.
And start off by saying, "How you doing?"
Straight, take my money. Okay, we're coming back on air first.
Example.
Ivan, Jerry is the first girl that line didn't work on.
Didn't work.
I was so perplexed. I know.
You should all try it on Jerry. Jerry, how you doing?
How you doing?
Okay, we go back on Evans.
Madonna, the Queen of Pop, with Cherish right here on 1FM 91.3. I don't know why I did the Vogue thing. Did I just do the Vogue thing?
Yes, you did just do the Vogue. Well, you attempted a Vogue thing. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
Hey, Jerry, just in case you didn't know, Ivan used to be the hottest club DJ here in Singapore,
Yeah.
In
I
his day.
heard and I read.
Were you a
Oh,
were
you read as well. Wow.
Were you a fire kid?
No, I'm very quiet. I'm really very quiet.
No going tea dances or partying. It's okay. We can take you out. We all go together.
It's never too late. You're right. It's never too late. Once Singapore opens up, phase 3, right? Then we'll finally all meet, Jerry.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. For coffee.
Yes.
Coffee.
Okay,
Coffee
Ken.
therapy
Yeah.
is really nice.
For coffee and a slow dance, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
Espresso martini.
I tell you, between you and Ivan, I will have to take control during this thing.
Yes, I think older gentlemen should do it.
Oh, bring in the old. Bring in the old now, will you? Second day on the show, bringing in the old already.
All right, Jerry, we've got to go. Well, almost. Would you like to say anything else to close today's therapy session?
You must be really sad to go, or for me to go.
Yes.
Anyway, yes, the last thing is listen. So I've got a Chinese character. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Yes.
Ears,
Okay.
eyes, one
So this
heart.
Chinese character is what I usually use in communication, in the communication workshop. So it tells us to listen wholeheartedly to the person in front of you. Basically, to pay attention to the person that is in front of you.
Okay.
And just listen with your ears. And you realize, you listen with your ears.
Okay.
And you listen with your eyes. So you need to
Okay.
pay attention.
Yep.
Right? You listen with your heart. So
Okay.
you feel the person. And you realize that there is no mouth.
Mm.
There isn't a word mouth.
Right.
Code.
Mm.
There isn't one there. So shut the mouth, listen with the ears,
Right.
eyes, and the heart.
Wow, nice one, Jerry. Like that.
I don't understand. I saw my surname there at the bottom. The Wang is my surname, right? So why is there the Wang there? No, I mean, I'm not saying why am I there, but
No,
but
where's the
there was the
Wang?
eyes there. Okay, so there's eyes, And then, I is there. Okay, yen, right?
Yen.
And then there's E. What's the one? What's the one for? E.
That means listen wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly. So as
One person,
complete.
you pay attention to that
Okay.
one
Completely.
person.
Okay.
And the wang there means that the person is the person you need to pay attention to. Like Wang Shang. Wang Shang is the emperor, right?
Right, king
when
or emperor,
he
yeah.
talks-
The king, yeah.
Yeah, when he talks, you listen to him. You don't go and look somewhere else. You don't go and play with your phone.
Right.
You listen to the person.
Okay.
You put the person in the center.
There you go. So just picture that person as an emperor or a king, a very important person. Then
okay.
you won't interrupt the person.
Okay, stop looking at me and trying to tell me that you're the king and I'm not supposed
No,
to interrupt.
I'm saying you are the king. If you talk, I cannot interrupt you.
It's the dream leader.
Oh man. Okay.
Go count it out. I shall take my leave.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us once again. You can get in touch with Jerry at contact@thetherapyroom.sg. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Geraldine Tan.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jerry.
See you next week. Bye.